What's going on, wrestling fans? Big D here covering for Michael D'Angelo, who's taking some well-deserved time off here with the recap of Money in the Bank. Very eventful, lots happened, fast-paced, especially after Worlds Collide happening just like right before, which was kind of what seemed to cause a emptiness in the arena there for a minute in the beginning matches for the Money in the Bank matches, which was pretty odd to see, but we'll get to that here in a sec here. But again, I'm going to go over everything you may have seen, what you cheered for, what you booed for, and what you liked, all in Money in the Bank. Kicking things off, we had the women's Money in the Bank match here between Roxanne Perez, Alexa Bliss, Stephanie Vaquer, Rhea Ripley, Naomi, and Julia, firing off the match in the pay-per-view, or I'm sorry, PLE. On a high note, definitely the ladies did their thing. You had a few little pins of foreshadowing in terms of the partnering up between Julia and Roxanne Perez, but then turning on each other again. You had a lot of back and forth between the new school and the veterans. So you had Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Vaquer, and Julia, squaring off, of course, against Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, and Naomi. Naomi was victorious. She is now your Miss Money in the Bank winner. Say what you say, may not be the favorite, I think, from the crowd reaction. Some folks were pretty happy, not so much, but I'll get into what I think may happen with that. But first, some of these spots in this Money in the Bank match were phenomenal. I enjoyed watching the dueling Pop Rocks Code Red. You had Roxanne Perez on one side, Alexa Bliss on the other side, and they both, I mean, they didn't get the timing exactly perfect, but it was close enough for my liking. It was a great spot to see. Stephanie Vaquer hitting Rhea Ripley with the Devil's Kiss. That was actually really done on the rung of a ladder. Like, she didn't do it in the space. She actually did it on the rung, which was actually really cool to see and very effective. I think it even bent the ladder just a little bit because they were hitting that rung. And I think that looked really good, really gnarly, setting up potentially something between Stephanie Vaquer and Rhea Ripley, which they kind of hinted to during the week leading up to Money in the Bank, which I would not be opposed to seeing. Both women are great in the ring, and both women are favorites for sure within the crowd. So hoping to see that. Now, in terms of the winner, Naomi, I can see why they chose her because they're still kind of finding a place for Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss still really hasn't joined the Wyatt Six just yet, although that's been the rumor for quite some time. I would not be surprised to see Naomi cash in for the TNA Women's Championship because she was TNA Women's Champion at one point. You already had the crossover with NXT. You had Trick Williams win the title off of Joe Hendry. Obviously, so Joe Hendry can drop the title and move over to WWE is my assumption. But I wouldn't be surprised. That may be a good move for Naomi to kind of slide over and take over back sitting in her throne because she really did really well and she excelled immensely through TNA. If she doesn't, I'd be curious to see who she go after for the women's title. So we're gonna have to tune in and see exactly what she decides to do this coming week. After that, we had an impromptu, actually, just hours before they set up the match, the men's intercontinental championship between Dominic Mysterio and Octagon Jr. That was actually a really fun match. It was fast, it was quick, but I feel it was a good palate cleanser after a long women's Money in the Bank match because that match did run some time. This match was, I feel, a great place for it to be in. Dominic Mysterio shined really well against Octagon Jr. And again, of course, Luchador celebrating AAA there in LA. And I think that was a great call on WWE's creative part. They showed a little clip at Worlds Collide where Dominic was in the crowd and interrupted with Octagon Jr., which again is what prompted this match to come to fruition, put the title on the line. We knew he wasn't losing the title, especially to someone that's not in their promotion. I think WWE's okay taking other promotions' titles. I don't think they want theirs crossed over. I could be proven wrong, but we'll see. But this was a fun match. Nothing too crazy going on with it, but Dom looked really, really good. He let Octagon shine as well. You had the AAA wrestlers, Mr. Iguana, you had Psycho Clown, and you had Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. watching on from ringside, which actually was really cool to see them intertwined together. So cheers to Dominic on the win, retaining his title, of course. Right after that, we had the Women's Intercontinental Championship between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Obviously, Becky Lynch, if you don't know by now, she is now your new Women's Intercontinental Champion. Little hints of what was going to happen at the end were shown at the beginning of the match. You had the ring announcer announcing your champion, your challenger, right? First they announced Becky Lynch, and Lyra gets the jump on Becky early on. She just jumps her and starts attacking her, and the match gets started right away. That was kind of the tone throughout the match. You had a little bit more of an aggressive side with Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch being the savvy veteran. getting one over on her. This match went on for quite a while. However, it was not a dull or boring match. Lots of spots. You had a brutal looking DDT on Lyra Valkyria from Becky Lynch. You actually had Becky Lynch try to hit a manhandle slam off the second rope for a pin, trying to put away Lyra Valkyria. That was not enough. Lyra still kicked out of that. Again, we're not big fans of kicking out of finishers, but given what was at stake, I can understand why they did that. It all kept going. You had Becky Lynch working the arm. You had, again, a lot of relentlessness from both women, multiple "this is awesome" chants. You had multiple pinning combinations, and towards the end, you had Becky Lynch roll her up with the tights for the win, which I think is what going to prompt maybe a rematch. I think because that's going to be something that Lyra's going to say she didn't, agree with. However, Becky Lynch was your champion. She did make her raise her hand, but again, took it a step further, kind of poking and prodding at her, making her not only raise her hand, but making her put the title around her waist. Again, Lyra very hesitant, very reluctant to do so, but she did. And kind of you can almost see it coming at the very end. She went ahead and grabbed Becky Lynch and suplexed her and then rolled out of the ring and left out of frustration. So this feud is far from over. I think we're going to see this continue on and see what happens from here, but I'm curious to see it. I wonder to know what you guys' thoughts are. Let me know in the comments of whether you think this is going to be a turn for Lyra or if you think that they're just going to do another back and forth 50-50 booking. Who knows? But again, hats off to the women. They did a great match. I enjoyed this match as well, very much so, but not more than my personal match of the night, which was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match between, you had Seth Rollins, you had Pentagon, you had Andrade, you had Solo, you had LA Knight, and you had Grande Americano, Chad Gable. But you had them all in what was really, I would say, Spotfest is an understatement because there are so many big moments in this match. If you have not seen this match, I cannot do it justice with trying to recall all of the spots that we saw. Go back and watch this match. It was amazing. I enjoyed every second of it. Solo, you know what? Solo surprised me with his charisma here in this match. His mockery of the penta walk and his mockery of doing the thank you and just little things that he was doing. His demeanor was really, really good, kind of arrogant. I feel like that's how he should have been. I think he's been trying to find that spot, and I think he found it here. Andrade and Penta put on an amazing show, of course. We saw a Mexican destroyer on the ladder. LA Knight almost in it every single time. Seth Rollins getting into it every single time. But it was Seth Rollins calling in for help because he kind of had needed the backup through all the chaos. And of course, here come the Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and they just laid everybody out and put everyone to waste. And of course, trying to open up the door for Seth Rollins. Then right before that, you get the Jacob Fatu song to hit. You hit that Fatu, and then here comes Jacob Fatu. Here comes Jeff Cobb or JC Mateo. They come to save Solo, which again, Solo, big old smile on his face. They go, they brawl out, they take everybody out, which I was loving every bit of Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu. I would love to see that match. You had Jacob Fatu hit a pop-up Samoan slam on Bronson Reed, looked effortless and looked amazing. So that's why I'm saying go back and watch this. You had then Jacob Fatu set up the ladder for Solo and told him to climb up the ladder and win just according to plan. And Solo, again, being arrogant, saying, yeah, that's right, trying to go up the ladder. But then you had that moment where the crowd knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming. It's been telegraphed for quite some time. Jacob finally turned on Solo, grabbed his heel, and Solo really sold it well, trying to get his leg up, did the whole comic. I feel it's comic-ish because he's trying to lift his leg up and he looks down to see what's stopping him, and Jacob gets him and yells out, "I hate you," Solo, instead of "I love you," which was awesome. That was perfect timing on that. I love the switch up to it. And then takes out Solo Sikoa, beats him down, hits him with his beautiful moonsault that he does off the second rope, bouncing to the top and hits his moonsault. Took him out completely. And the crowd just went insane. The pop was insane. They popped off and Solo just, danced it off, walked out, left them. And then, of course, you had Seth Rollins take advantage. He walked right up the ladder. And that was pretty much it. Took the Money in the Bank briefcase for the second time in his career. He is now Mr. Money in the Bank, as he predicted, as he teased, and as he said would be. Again, goes very well with his whole new stable that he has. I wonder if they're going to get a fourth member. Not sure how that's going to happen. There's been rumors about that, but as of right now, just him and Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker is going to be great to see, especially with him having the Money in the Bank briefcase available to him. Lots of teases. He can appear anywhere now to take that. And then he has his two muscle behind him just to be able to go and take over whoever has the title and take it from them. So I'll be excited to see how he cashes that in. If he waits till WrestleMania, if he doesn't, I don't know. Let me know in the comments who you think he may cash in on. And if so, how. My money's going to be on Jay, maybe on Monday night. Maybe he might cash in after the Gunther match and take that title or turn into a triple threat after they take out Gunther and Jey Uso. Who knows? Because we did not have a cash in at the main event, which I was surprised for, but there was another surprise I thoroughly enjoyed. Before that, I just wanted to just cap off here. I think I also heard that WWE confirmed, or Triple H confirmed, somebody did, that Braun Breaker is going to get new ring music made by Limp Bizkit, which, I mean, I'm an old fan of the old new metal movement, and I am going to love every minute of that. I'm sure. I'm excited to hear what they come out with, and hopefully we'll hear that maybe on Raw, or maybe sometime in the near future for him. But back to Seth Rollins. Congratulations, Mr. Money in the Bank, two-time Money in the Bank winner. Let's see if he's victorious with that again the second time. Main event time. We had Jey Uso teaming up with Cody Rhodes versus John Cena and Logan Paul. Just the little things that I liked about this match were, in the very beginning, Jey Uso, he's notoriously known for rerunning his music again. Once the crowd gets too into it, he does it again once the music's over so they can yeet more. And he asked for it again. He's like, play my music again. And before they did it, Logan Paul's music hit, which again, don't like Logan Paul, but that was smart. That was a very good way. The crowd just booed the hell out of him for that because they didn't get their second chance or their second replay of the song. And so when Logan Paul comes out, then John Cena, of course. Here comes the match. The match was good. I enjoyed it. Lots of back and forth between the two. You even had a little bit of hostility between John Cena and Logan Paul, where their egos kind of got the better of them because one of them was trying to get the pinfall. The other one doesn't want to let them. The other one wants it too. Again, egos collided. Again, the partnership was short-lived, obviously, but I think they were able to get it back together for just a bit to keep going. You had a lot of back and forth between the two, lots of finishers hit, lots of big time moves. You even had, one of my favorite spots was Logan Paul grabbed the little drone that flies around the arena. He grabbed the drone to talk to it about he's about to do his frog splash, but then Cody goes up for suplex over the top, which actually was a really cool view to see Logan Paul just kind of flip over and go through that angle that they did. That was a great job on the producer's part on keeping that angle open and live for the feed for the TV folks, because that was really cool to see. Of course, you had John Cena cheating to win again. He had the ring cleared. He had Cody Rhodes dead to rights, grabbed his title belt, smack Cody with the title. Of course, the crowd booing because we've seen this before. John Cena cheating to win because that's the new way. He's trying to ruin professional wrestling. But then all of a sudden, somebody comes into the ring wearing all black, hoodie, mask, and spears John Cena and then hits him, I believe. I gotta go back and check my notes here. But yeah, he actually did hit him with the title. He hit him with the after John Cena hit Cody Rhodes with the title, they came in, they attacked him, he speared him, and then he started ground and pound on him. And then when he got up to reveal who he was, after he hit him with the title, was R-Truth. R-Truth returned to a thunderous roar. The crowd popped massively for R-Truth's return. And of course, he rolls out the ring, takes off. Cody Rhodes, again, hits the crossroads, ends the match. Your faces stand victorious. John Cena baffled and beside himself at the entryway. A good way to end the night. Again, I enjoyed the match, but my match of the night was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I feel that there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to be seen coming up on Raw and SmackDown, which of course we're going to be tuning in to watch and giving you guys a recap of as well. One thing I do want to make note of is R-Truth's return. I know the WWE is trying to play it off as like, oh, this was a work the whole time. This is what we were trying to do the whole time. We played you guys, whatever. No, I call BS on that, because this is very much so. They released R-Truth for the money aspect, and they didn't see profitability in him until the eruption of disdain from the crowd, from the fans, us, the people. It reminds me of what happened with The Rock when The Rock took Cody Rhodes' place, and all the "We Want Cody" chant started. Rock tried to play off of it, and it just wasn't enough. We got what we wanted because we spoke up. We were verbal, we're vocal, we were loud and thunderous, and we posted everywhere about wanting our truth. We want truth chants all around the shows, audible. Even in the arena, you had the signs that say we want truth. It was us that brought our truth back, and I couldn't be more happy for that. That is a victory for the fans, because our truth is one of the greatest national treasures in professional wrestling. I will die on that hill. And it's funny that now they're trying to pawn it off that there was a work the whole time, because now they have his merch on the WWE shop. It's Ron Killings, which is his real name, instead of our truth. So now they're gonna say, well, no, we let go of our truth, but we kept Ron Killings. They're probably gonna play something stupid like that. I'd be curious to see what they say. I'm waiting for that promo to come back from our truth, because this was a more serious side of our truth, which I'm happy to see as well. I love the comedic our truth, but at the same time, this is a good look for him. I like that he came out, got his revenge on John Cena, cost him the match, and I'm excited to see what happens. Overall, Money in the Bank was a great show. I enjoyed every bit of it. If you missed Worlds Collide before it, that was also a good show. I enjoyed that as well. But then again, I'm a huge fan of Lucha Libre, so I've been looking forward to that partnership for so long. Again, my only gripe of the show was maybe the timing between Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank, because the arena looked extremely empty for the women's Money in the Bank match, which is a bummer, because that match was amazing. That was my runner up for match of the night, because both Money in the Bank matches were amazing. If you have time, go back and check out just both of those matches. They were great matches to watch. Lots of spots, lots of great storytelling throughout, lots of different little teases for what's to come. Again, perfect. So I enjoyed Money in the Bank very, very much. Again, whether you agree, disagree, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We greatly appreciate all of you out there that take the time to watch us each week and share your comments and thoughts with us, because we do love talking about professional wrestling. That is our passion. That is something we truly love doing and talking about and watching. So again, that's been the recap of WWE Money in the Bank 2025. I have been Big D. I hope to see y'all in the next video.